Hollywood's still upset. Unable to elect Hillary during her failed bid for the presidency, actress Deborah Messing joining other celebrities like comedian Sarah Silverman this weekend to protest, demanding that the president release his tax returns. The comedian even tweeting out these protest materials. We're going to show them to you now. Let's take this to our own celebrity. He's the former Love Connection host and current Blunt Force Truth podcast host. He's Chuck Woolery here with his reaction. All right, so they're upset.
Hi, Liz.
And good to see you, Chuck. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We love you.
Happy to have you be here.
So
happy for you to have me.
We love it. So Deborah Messing supported Hillary Clinton during the campaign. Was she influential back then?
You know, this whole thing about the taxes is not, I don't think it's that unusual. It's just an excuse for the left to really stir things up and try to get at Trump and also raise money for their base. The American people, by and large, don't care. They could care less. On top of that, his taxes are probably so complicated that 99.9% of the people in the United States couldn't even understand them. So I don't know what they're really looking for. It's just an excuse to protest and it's an excuse to slow things down. It's a reason to raise money and a reason to get out into a crowd and yell and scream about things that people really don't care about.
They're looking for a connection about collusion to Russia, right?
Yeah, but come on. I mean, so what if he had done business with Russia? That hasn't got anything to do with anything today. And on top of that, showing his tax returns, he didn't do it when he was running. It didn't bother anybody then. And I'm sure that by the fact that he's president, he's not going to do it now. Yeah. And I don't blame him. I mean, Jimmy Carter kind of started this whole thing, so it's not exactly. The thing that got me is Maxine Waters said he needs to look to the Constitution and release his tax return. I mean, show me somewhere in the Constitution where it mentions anything about showing your tax returns.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's not there.
That's a good point. I think Nixon released them under audit. I mean, so they're saying, well, he's being audited. Well,
right.
You know, but they're really, it's a stack of paper. But you know, Charlie Daniels, the singer, just tweeted out, I'd rather see Hillary Clinton's deleted emails than Trump's tax return.
Yeah. Or even the Clinton Foundation books. I'd love to take a look at those too. I probably wouldn't understand that either, and neither would Charlie, who's an old friend of mine, by the way. Yeah. Charlie used to play backup for me when I was a singer in Nashville. Honest to God, he was my guitarist in the studio.
Wow, that is a tidbit. I sing like a hinge, I murder silence.
How's that for a little bit of trivia?
Yeah, I love it. So, you know, what do you think of the president saying, you know, so much to look into who paid for these rallies yesterday, including the protesters, right?
I mean, we all know that George Soros is behind a lot of these things, and his minions and all of the. I mean, the list of little groups that he has are a mile long, and the left is they're the only people who really protest. I think the Tea Party was the last protest that I recall from kind of, well, not conservatives, but at least the right. And that was all about taxes. But you very seldom see people on the right protesting because it's not the way they raise money, really. And it's difficult to compete with that. And they're violent. Almost always. I've never seen a protest without exception in the last year or two that has not had violence as a part of it. And it's sad that we have to come here, that we just can't talk with each other. But the left is a very violent part of our political landscape, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. And it's become more and more violent in the last probably 10, 12 years. Yeah.